Blog Talk Radio. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard. Hi everyone, this is Natalie Jones. This is Natalie Jean with Chatting with Nat. And today we have the Acoustic Duet singer-songwriters Shandy and Eva. Yes, they've been on the show before. They are an acoustic duet performing their original songs. Shandy, Shandrelica Casper, is a vocalist, drummer, and a percussionist from Curacao, Caribbean. Ewa. Lord, I'm not even going to try to say your last name because I would just butcher that. With a Z, is a vocalist and guitarist from Warsaw, Poland. In 2015, during their studies at Los Angeles College of Music, Pasadena, California, they formed a duet, started playing shows together. Shandy and Eva's music can be generally described as singer-songwriter style. Nevertheless, the songs are inspired by many different musical genres. Let's give them a round of applause. Hi, Shandy and Eva. How are you doing?
Hi. How are you? We're
Hi.
good.
Thank you for this introduction. We're good. How are you?
Good to be back.
Eva, how do you say the last name?
Zmijewska. I know it's very difficult. And then also, in the international alphabet, let's call it, you just write it with a Z, but in Polish there should be like a little dot on top of my...
Yeah, that's too complicated.
Z, and then you pronounce it as like more like J, more like French. So there's, whole story to it, but
Complicated story to it, yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely would have butchered it. Even if I try right now, I'll still butcher it. Okay, but thank you for the explanation. Now I know how it's supposed to be pronounced and how it's supposed to be written. So how have you two been since we last spoke?
Good. All right. I remember the last time we spoke after a release of our song in Polish.
Right.
So Tacy Sami, and this was kind of like a protest song, and just to remind everybody a little bit of our protest against has been happening in Poland and in the world when it comes to intolerance, women empowerment, and different issues that grew a lot over the last years. So we since then, we were hoping for the pandemic to end a little sooner, but I guess we are still, as everybody, right? We did all reasonable because cheerful. We went more for this recent single that we have just released.
All right. You were just cutting in a little bit in and out. Just repeat the last few words that you said.
I just said that we a single because we did an upbeat song more into country vibe. And it's a song about journey, traveling, finding yourself. We encourage you to listen to it. We have just released the single, Where My Heart Belongs.
Why did you decide to try to kind of do it in the country genre?
Well, we both have a lot of influences in this area, funny enough, because we're both not from the States, right, which is it's like your the main music genre in the States, right? One of the main, but one of the main from since the very beginning of
country is one of the main things out here.
Right. So basically, I have influences from like Lady A, They used to be Lady Antebellum, right? Lady A. Eva, you have influence from Brandi Carlile, who actually won many Grammys since 2 years ago, and she's been just all over the place and just kicking it.
Yeah, I guess the answer to your question is that we, for some reason, even though not being from the U.S., we still listen to country music, among others.
And wanted to write a song.
Yeah, we wanted to go this way because we so much appreciate the country songwriting and the vibe.
So I don't know if you're aware, but you probably are aware, with country music is trying to evolve at this point in the 21st century, because what we found out is that in the country industry, in regards to women, they were playing, it was like 99.9% on the radio, it was men. And they would play one woman to every man that was played on the radio. And so a lot of women, they were up in arms. They were up, as they should be upset about that. Anybody should be upset about that. And now, because, the industry the women have spoken in the industry and said, look, this is not fair. We need to be on the same level as the men out there, as they should be. And now they're getting more airplay. Also, in regards to people of color, Black people, there weren't that many Black people in country music. Now there's more so right now. And I was just reading an article on in regards to the CMAs, and they're trying to work with, I guess, other Black establishments to get Black people more involved. Not that it's always another race that's always winning and getting up there. What do you guys think about the whole controversy with country music in regards to the women and, Black people?
This is actually very interesting because out of this, what you were just describing, that is 99% just men and only one woman, right, would be played. There's this amazing project that Brandi Carlile also takes part of, which is called The High Woman. Yeah. Yeah, you can take it.
Yes, I was exactly.
It's your baby, kind of. I found out through you, so
because of the, she became very famous recently, but I've been following her for like 10 years now, I think.
Right.
And yes, about 2 years ago, this is where women started to speak out about this issue. She put together a band. I don't know if you've heard of it, the High Women.
High Women.
And, the really major stars in country music, but still they have not been played enough on the country music radios. And they got together and they did an amazing album. Highly recommended. Yeah. And I think since then, we were even more empowered to follow these issues and being a band, formed with us, two women, we really wanted to also explore country music and maybe promote it more in other parts of the world as well.
Yeah.
Being as well from totally different places and looking different, black and white. So yeah.
It's just amazing to me how, it's music. You would think that it's music. Why should there be so much controversy? Because it's music. It's just singing. I just don't. Exactly. I never understand the whole race issue, the women issue, in regards to singing. Singing is such a universal thing. Music is a universal thing. So I don't understand why people can't just be on the same level. I know that a lot of people are going to be up in arms in regards to, different races being involved in country music because it's been predominantly white for a long time. But people need to really take time to really Google and learn the history about country music and where country music really comes from. There's a lot of soul involved in country music. The CMAs were on Wednesday. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I did watch on YouTube. They had what's her face on it? Jennifer. Why am I blanking? Jennifer Hudson.
Jennifer Hudson.
She sang a song with Chris Stapleton, and everybody was standing up and they were clapping, and it was a beautiful thing. When she sings, my God, I get goosebumps. The woman can sing. She breaks it down. She was country She was gospel. She was all kinds of things, and it was amazing to see. But what's sad about the whole situation is that, that there has to be an effort made.
Yeah.
I always have these conversations with people, and I said, Black people just don't want to always have to say, well, I did this and we did this. We don't want to have to say that. We want everything to be on equal footing with everybody else. You know what I mean? Because it gets exhausting to try to tell everyone what we have accomplished in this world. But hopefully we get to a place where, everybody just sees equality in music, because it's music and it's a bond that we all can share, and we all can sing country. Like I do Americana, I do country, and I'm trying to evolve the country. I just, recorded a song that, because I wanted to do something dark, and it's very dark, folky. I like to experiment with music. I like to do my own thing. Now, here's something that I learned about country music, and that I didn't know, is that you have to rhyme. So I did. Right. I don't know if you know about this, but I did a songwriter session, and when I went to the Josie Music Awards, and they were talking about, we had to write this song, and everybody was putting ideas, and everybody was like, but it's not rhyming. And I'm thinking, in my head, I'm like, why does it have to rhyme? Isn't it about telling a story? When you're talking to somebody, you're not rhyming, right? So
right.
Why is it that we have to rhyme when we're just trying to tell a story? It's just baffling to me. Now, I'm going to play the song, but do you rhyme in this song?
I mean,
here and there.
Well, Eva's like one of kind of like an old school songwriter.
Oh, come on.
The song was written by Eva, because she's like the best with words, and she actually, well, not many people know this, but you studied languages, and you have a bachelor's in translations, Italian translation. So you studied a lot of languages, which is cool. So you actually take your time with the words. So where she can rhyme, she will do it. But what is cool about her is that she actually, it still makes sense, and it fits to the story.
Right. Okay.
Right? So for me, that's kind of like one of the most beautiful ways of rhyming. No, this is true.
I would say,
like, if you look at the lyrics.
Thank you so much. I think, wow, it's whenever the rhyme fits, and it fits the melody, and it fits the vibe, it sounds good, because it's very satisfying when
right.
There's a rhyme. But I would never, of course, sacrifice a piece of story just to find a rhyme, right? So that definitely, I agree with you. Like, this is the most important in songwriting, the story. But yeah, depending on the style, definitely in country music, it's kind of implied a little bit in the old school country that yes, you need to rhyme. But right now, as you said, we are exploring, we're trying new things. So yeah, I would rhyme here and there, but yeah, as I said, not to sacrifice the story.
By the way, congratulations on your award.
Oh, thank you.
We saw on Instagram, so that's really cool. Congrats.
Thank you. Because when I go to my music producer this time around, I was like, I want it this way. Because I sent him, we were listening to a song because I wanted him to understand the Americana country dark vibe. I said something like this, and he said, okay. And then, but while I was Googling, I didn't know this. There's actually country gothic music.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised.
I was like, what? I need to dig deeper into this gothic, into this country thing, because I would love to do more of that. More, not always doing that, like the traditional country pop stuff, which I do like, but I want to. I just, because sometimes I get tired of hearing the same old, fashion thing playing. It's the same, same instruments. I like to take different instruments that you might not hear together, and so I want people to say, oh, well, that's interesting. I don't care if they like the song or not, but I'll say, but I want someone to say, oh, that's interesting. That's a different take on things. I never let anybody hear my music except for my mom, and so I let my friends listen to I warn her. I said, this is very different. She goes, oh my God, this is so unexpected of you, but she liked it because it was unique and different. So how important is it for you guys to stay, on the same path? Do you like to experiment and explore with your music, or do you just like to stay straight with the music?
If you listen to our very first studio album, all we do is it's most of the album is not exploring, but like you hear different styles. We go in different directions, but somehow it fit. Even though we have a song like a very soft ballad, going to like a bossa nova type groove, going to like a more upbeat, four on the floor, pop rock. So somehow we made it to fit in a sense that
I think we developed a little bit our own. I'm sorry to.
That's true. We did develop it, but this is how we started.
Shandy Eva style, and I think what's definitely what's the glue is that our sound together, our two voices. And also definitely what we've talked about before as well, the storytelling that we always want to stay true to that. And yeah, I think the way we play and we sing, like this stays within our style. But as Shandy was saying, we explore. We try to develop our tastes as well. And with every song, we see if we can do something a little different or better. Of course, we always want to do better with every song.
So we're going to play "Where My Heart Belongs." So tell the audience what that song is about.
It's about traveling, being on the road, but also being on the road, like mentally, spiritually. So like looking for your home. And maybe not even like finding it in the end, but just looking, just know the journey and appreciation of that in every sense, in literal sense, being a musician, and also just growing up and being human,
All righty, let's play it.
Looking for a home where my heart belongs. Hope I'll find you there, my dear, where my heart belongs. When I was not old enough to buy a deer, not old enough to steer the wheel in my car, not old enough to decide. I didn't know how easy life was then, how many tears I wasted on trouble so small. Now they don't matter at all. I'm looking for a home where my heart belongs. Hope I'll find you there, my dear, where my heart belongs. Now I must be old enough to buy a drink, old enough to break a heart, old enough to sin. But growing up doesn't cure your fears. And each time when I feel that I'm getting close, I'm nowhere near. I'm looking for a home where my heart belongs. Hope I'll find you there, my dear, where my heart belongs.
That was really good.
Thank you.
Kind of reminded me of an early version of the Dixie Chicks.
Oh, there you go. Wow, thank you.
No, I love the Dixie Chicks because they like to do what they want to. They do what they want to do. They don't care about these things. They're the real women out there. In the country world, you know, they were shunned after a while because they didn't like Trump and all that stuff. And you got to give them credit. Let me tell you got to give them credit. Now, what is your goal with this song, and how do you plan on marketing and promoting the song?
So we have been actually trying to try with playlisting, because we just believe it would be such a cool song to just lower your windows and just drive,
Good candidate for many
one way.
playlists.
Playlisting. And over here in Poland, we've been doing the traditional, like what we're doing with you,
some interviews,
radio. We have TV, so as well.
And surprisingly enough, we talked about this, like exploring the genre and trying to make it popular outside of the U.S. as well. And many people in Poland really reacted super well to this, something new from us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they really liked it.
Yeah, I can see why they like it. And I don't know how it is in Poland, but over here we there's many different platforms that you can use. There's Music Submit, Play MPE is one that I use. With Play MPE, it's not cheap, but you send them your song. You have to write everything up, but you send them their song, and then you can choose what genre it is, and then they send it to their contact list, which is over 2,000 different radio stations, and then you get a reporting of whether somebody's clicked on it, opened it, streamed it, downloaded the song. But then after that, the real work begins, because then it's up to you to find the contact information for these people, and then you contact them. You say, I saw that you streamed it, downloaded, clicked on it. If you want an interview, just let me know. This is what I'm doing in life, blah, 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 yada, yada. It is a lot of work, but I've used them so many times now. Now some of the radio stations are, they know who I am at this point. So that's when
really cool.
Yeah, the other thing, you hit on is the playlisting. So, I've been doing this music thing for over 11 years, but I never really understood the whole playlisting thing. Very recently. So one of the biggest things is to get on a Spotify or Apple Music playlist. It's not easy to get on there. So there are a lot of companies out there that say, we can hit up the curators and blah, 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 and get your music on Spotify. Because I have a friend, and she's an instrumental pianist, and she got her song placed on one Spotify playlist, but this was on this Spotify playlist of a very famous other pianist type, and then her career just soared. I mean, that she makes money. She actually makes money off of her streamings and stuff like that, believe it or not, because she gets millions of streams, and it's all because she got on this one playlist. And the conversations that I've been having with people is that you just need that one big thing to happen in your life, in your music career, and then your music takes off. One. Do you hear me? One thing. It's just that one thing that needs to happen. With all this stuff and effort that we put into our and social media and stuff, it's just that one little thing that needs to happen where somebody says, "Oh my God, I just heard Shandy Eva's new song. I gotta sign them. I gotta do this, that, and the other." So, is your goal to get signed with a large label, or do you want to stay indie, or would you rather be signed by an independent label?
Actually, for us to sign with a large label, we know the cost. We know how much of a toll it takes. We have a lot of musician friends here, artists here in Poland. that has done the major label thing, and they just say, you know what, it's gonna take a little bit longer, but in the end, it will be much worth it to just wait out, work as hard as you can. It's gonna take a longer time, and be yourself mostly, yeah. Then actually to sign with nothing against record labels. We have nothing against record labels, of course, but for us, we know ourselves, we know our characters, personalities, and also how, like what we can, I won't say tolerate, but like boundaries, what our boundaries are. So we will probably stay independent, and who knows? So we're working with amazing people over here in Poland.
Yeah, but like indie label, of course, it would be great to be noticed.
Of course, smaller and
that'd be probably optimal for us.
I feel like here in Poland we're definitely on the right track.
Yeah, but as you said, it's a little bit of luck that you need, label or not, right? Like as you said, like this one playlist, this one radio interview that you get noticed, and then you can you can really make your money from streaming or things like this. So of course this is a little bit of luck, but and we know, all of us know, that it doesn't come from nothing as well. Like you keep working for it, and then at some point, at the moment when you least expect it, that's usually how it happens. It happens, right? Yeah.
Well, it happens, and you're right. It happens when you least expect it. Sometimes it happens for people when they're just like, oh my God, I'm not doing music anymore. It's too hard. And then they get a phone call and then somebody says, oh my God, we love you. We want to sign you. We want to do this with you. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. One of the things that, I've been posting a lot of inspirational quotes, and one of the things that kept coming to me is like, determination and stop making excuses, because even, while we're doing this music, sometimes we can get down on ourselves and say, okay, I've been working hard at this. Why isn't anything happening? I mean, we have our small successes. We have our large successes. But you have to be determined, and you can't make excuses anymore. If this is something that you really want to do, you just have to keep pushing yourself, keep creating new music, exciting music, be different, be you, be authentic. One of the main things that's been happening in the industry, more people are seeking more authentic artists because they want somebody to relate to. That is the thing that I've been seeing over and over and over again. People need something in their lives that they can say, whoa, this person gets me. I understand this completely. What are 3 things, however, you wish you had known before you got into the music industry?
You can go first. I'm thinking. That's a good question.
First of all, is the toll it takes on some of the relationships. That either it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be family, friendships. It can be anything, right? Because people usually they do not understand how long it takes sometimes, right? Like people just have this image in their head of like, oh, okay, so look at this artist, right? They went from not being known at all, and then now they're all over the radio, and they're doing interviews and doing tours, world tours, and blah, blah, and stuff like that, right? Headlining, as you would say. So usually they don't really, the patience is not there, and the understanding as well. And sometimes it hurts because, the people that you love the most are like, oh, you're still doing your hobby. Or you're still like, this is just your hobby, right? Like this is one of the things, the main thing I would say is I think it takes like 2.5 spots in your, in my 3 things. No, because it's like, it's one of the main things that I always notice, right? It can be somebody that loves you dearly, but because we call them, as our very cool songwriting teacher, Phil Swan would say, the civilians out there that don't really do music. And they don't really know what happens behind the scenes and behind the curtains when you do not have a huge major label backing you.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's another thing. It brings me and so second thing, I guess we just do 3 things together, right?
Yeah, because we think alike.
I just what you said made me think about the fact that we spend hours rehearsing, writing our songs, putting together a show. And it's just so sometimes discouraging that people, want to pay you very little or sometimes nothing to play, and
or you have to pay to play.
entertain others or their audience. And this is very sad, I think. I don't want to say that it always happens like this, and there are amazing venues out there that are very welcoming and they pay their musicians, but there are other places that are pay to play. I don't understand this concept. And it's just, it's very sad that it happens a lot. And I feel like we are not, as musicians, singers, songwriters, bands, are not appreciated enough, because this is our job. And any other, service that you come and provide, you just give your price and you get paid for that, and nobody asks questions. But with this, I feel like we need to fight for it, like when it comes to small shows, independent artists.
Well, I agree with you 100%. So here in the United States, it's very hard to get booked unless you have experience. So a lot of musicians in the beginning, they do the pay to play, which I think is unfair, but that's the only way they can gain the experience to play, unless they go out and play in the middle of the street or the subway or somewhere like that and take videos of what they're doing.
We've done it too. We've been there. So I know.
Yeah, I remember when I was first starting out and I was paying to play, and after a while, I'm not doing that anymore. If somebody wants to hire me, they better just go look at my YouTube, because I have plenty now and stuff like that. And the other thing for me though is I don't want to play anywhere where there's like background noise, like TVs and stuff. I refuse to do it. It takes too much energy to create our music and rehearse and do all that stuff to just be background noise. I just refuse to do that. We have to, like you said, we need to have the respect in regards to, our craft.
Yeah. Completely agree.
Yeah.
One more thing, I think the third thing, it just came to my mind because we mentioned too, is also in the spirit of your show or of the talk, I didn't realize that it would be so difficult at times, being a musician, taking care of your stuff and being a woman. And especially for you, Shandy, as well, being a drummer as well.
Oh, yeah.
Female drummer. Like, we need to sometimes earn respect of others. And as soon as we play, as soon as we prove them that we actually know what we're talking about.
More so than our male counterparts.
Yeah, exactly. So, and this is very, very sad, because they start to listen after, they hear the first song or a little bit of the sound check, and they're like, oh, they know what they're doing.
That's very true. That's because I had an argument with somebody last year about that. And the argument was in regards to Shakira, because the argument was who was the best drummer, or there was a picture of Shakira playing, or it was after the Super Bowl. I don't know. But
I remember that.
So they showed her playing the drums, and this one guy who's a drummer said, "Oh, she can't really play." I said, "How do you know?" I said, I've read up on her. She's had some serious lessons learning to play the drums. She's been playing the drums for years. So I agree with you. I think men and everybody in general are just critical of women in everything.
Exactly.
They won't believe you until they actually see you playing and doing your thing. It's not, they won't take you at your word. It's always that we have to continuously prove that we can do something. And
Unfortunately, yes.
And I think that's extremely sad, even with women producers. I talked to this one friend of mine on the show, and she said many years ago she went to a seminar with music producers, and she was the only female in the room.
Well,
the only one.
Well,
she says now things have gotten a lot better, but the number of women producers, there are a lot of them out there, but I don't know if they're afraid to, show up and say, here I am, I can produce music. I mean, there's a lot more, I've noticed sites that, that just shows all the women producers and stuff like that. And I think that, we still have to keep fighting to be seen and heard, no matter what it is. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we do.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So what are you guys going to be working on after this song? Are you going to work on a new album? Are you working on some more singles?
We are in the process of starting the process to record our second studio album.
Okay.
We're probably going to release another single before that. I mean, we're supposed to kind of release the album like this year, but because this year, but because of COVID in 2020, everything stopped. So, we had to move it behind.
Yeah, we were putting everything on hold, but we still wanted to, we fell behind when it comes to the timing, because we thought like, 2 years after the first album, we do the second one, and it's been 2 years now.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It will be next year for sure. We cannot give you the exact date just yet, but after all the Christmas time passes and Christmas songs, we will no longer hear about Christmas songs. Then will be good time to release a new single, and then depending on where we are in the process, we are planning the new album for spring summer of next year, 2023. 22. Sorry, 22. Oh my God, I already went.
You want to be far away from this pandemic.
Yeah, I want to be far away from the pandemic. That's true.
Run.
And it's interesting. A lot of people say, well, do people really do albums anymore? I think a lot of people still do albums. A lot of people say, you create a single, you push that single until you can't push the single anymore, then you bring out the album. Because what happens now with the industry, the streaming industry, is that nobody has to buy a full-length album anymore. Mm-hmm. Because you could download one song of it or stream one song of the album. You can pick and choose what you like out of the album, right? Mm-hmm, but the thing about having albums, some physical albums, is that if you're a touring band, then you have merchandise to sell.
Yeah.
Because I am one, I will never do any more physical CDs. I just can't. Because I still have a bunch of CDs here. And I do all this digital stuff. And if I became like a huge major touring person, I probably might have some physical CDs, but I'm so
right.
Because, recently was Grammy voting time. And so some people send you the CDs, but I have a MacBook. They don't even have anything that you could put a CD into. So even if somebody sends me a CD, I was still on Spotify or wherever, clicking on their album to listen to.
Right.
Yeah, times are different, definitely.
Different, for sure.
I think we want to do it more for ourselves, but also, we are not.
We are touring.
We are not a major label band, but we do play little shows, and actually, sometimes the smaller the venue, the more people are stopping to and taking interest and wanting to talk to us later after the show. And most of them, the people that stop and actually want to talk, they want to buy the CD, Right. So I think that's our main impulse to do it. But also, as you said, like it's time of singles. So we want to put these singles that we've released, the new ones, on the album as well, like include them there. So, yeah.
Yeah, I plan to eventually release another album, but whenever I do an album, I do like themed albums. Because somebody asked me, they said, Natalie, you released 6 singles or 7 singles. They said, you could have put this on an album. I said, no, I couldn't. They all didn't go together. 2 songs.
Right.
The others, I would have called it a melange of something, but I don't like to do that just to have an album. Some people do that. They just want to say, oh, I have an EP. Oh, I have an album. But I think these days it really doesn't matter what you have. You can have a fantastic album or you can have a fantastic single or a bunch of singles, and then you just push them. Obviously, if you do a bunch of singles, you better have some money to be able to push those all at the same time. I will never do that again. And obviously, if you have an album, you push that one album to the best of your ability. It takes a lot of work, and and you just do it right. Like we always say, we have to be on all these social media platforms to be able to push our music. One person said, you're not supposed to post the same thing on each platform. Well, I don't have anything else to say. So you're going to get the same thing on each platform.
Yep.
Yes. So, we know the pain. I know.
Unless you pay a social media manager to take care of that, which we can't afford. So yeah.
No, I hear you. I mean, I'm starting to really get into the TikTok thing, which I didn't want to. Every now and then I'll come up with some ideas for some of my songs to do something. But, even with TikTok, they're like, you need to do 5 videos a day. But who has that time to sit there and say, okay, let me do it this way. Oh, maybe I could do it this way. Oh, this would be interesting if I did it this way. It's very time consuming. So what advice would you give to somebody that wants to really get into this music business?
Advice.
Well, we didn't really get into TikTok, but I'm telling you who does have time for these many videos a day. TikTokers. I mean, this is a profession now.
Yeah, so
they do that all day long.
Yeah,
so
they're good at it.
So I think if you have a nice idea for yourself, being a musician, an artist, or whoever, and you want to probably get into it and make quick money or have a chance for that, maybe become a TikToker, because this is the thing right now.
You have a lot of good songs on there too, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
We didn't really get into it just yet, maybe not yet. But my advice would be stay true to yourself, because this is what we're doing, right?
We're staying true to ourselves. We're not good at it, and we always
so that's why
say we're not good at it.
TikTok,
so we're not doing TikTok, but we
keep
try to
writing
keep
our
up.
music.
Yeah,
we keep playing shows and recording our music. And as we were talking before, this is very beautiful that this one lucky thing, it comes to you. It will come, and it's sometimes it's bigger, sometimes it's small, but it's a success for you, and it's important.
Amen to that. Yep. Yeah, and like you said, don't let anybody try to change who you are as an artist. Love whatever you put out. It's more important for you to love what you put out than anybody else in the world. Because if you don't love your music, that's the energy that you're putting out there, and nobody else will love your music. That's the biggest thing. That music is subjective. Don't get upset if somebody doesn't like your music, because somebody around the corner does love your music.
Right.
It's a tough business, and it's a business that you have to really work hard at.
Yeah.
Bottom line. All right, before we get off of here, tell everybody where they can find you on the.
So we are on. You cut out for a second, but I think you wanted to just quickly mention where they can find us on the internet.
Yeah, you got it.
All right.
Yeah, so I know people don't go on websites too much anymore, but shandyandeva.com.
That is true.
That's our website. That's our official website. But we do have a YouTube channel where you can find all the music videos.
Some live performances.
I encourage you to check out our recent music video, To Where My Heart Belongs.
Facebook.
We are active on Facebook and Instagram.
And that's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get to TikTok. I promise you guys.
You're like, we're going to get there someday, somehow. Well, thank you, Shandy Eva, for being on Chatting with Nat once again. I enjoyed your new song. I hope it does well. Continue with the promo marketing. I can't wait to listen to your new album whenever it comes out. I think you guys are going to have that, that big moment soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. All right, everybody. This is Chatting with Nat. That was Acoustic Duet singer-songwriters Shandy and Eva. And you heard it here. You can find them on Google them. That's what I do. I just Google. We can't remember everywhere that we are. Until next time on Chatting with Nat. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard. Love your